We live in a world where storytelling is constantly evolving. In this episode of Taking Up Space, we took a short lived to the film world. We were seated with two very passionate filmmakers who shared their storytelling journeys as well as how they bring their imagination to cinematic reality. Now, without wasting any more of your time, lights, cameras, action.
Thought putting emotions in the box might be easy and locking it up tight would free me, but I'm nothing forced by man, it's crazy. I know we end the things in the rough.
Hello everybody, I'm Stephen Ramagaza. I'm an actor, film director, writer, sound designer and editor. Welcome.
Do you have any favorite discipline among the ones you mentioned, and why are you so passionate about it?
I think it's editing, and I think the reason I love it is because people don't realize that that's where the real storytelling happens. You know, because people will think, no, it's the director or it's the writer, you see. But if there was no editor, the film would not be there. There are some mistakes that we fix in post-production that makes the film so, you see. Yes, that's why I love it.
So, discipline you act, write, direct, you edit. How do you tackle all these disciplines on your own, and would you pressure?
When it nna ke ditsa dingata e so bane ke re ke di rata kaofela ba bona ke di etsa hobane neng batho ba bang ke tla be bua ke sa motshepele mohlomong ho nketsa mosebetsi o nna ke tla be go picture ke le ka kelello ke ntsena ke tla tla ke di etse kaofela pressure e ngata ne e buima gore so I guess na nka re ke re to ke di le bana le yona pressure e bjalo ha ke sena nka hlalosa ka tsela e bjalo bona but ho thata ho buima.
Jale, how Lonzo Kalela gets the film? Who were some of your earliest influences or mentors in the film industry? Lorena, ki impact ife eba bile Leona Kwe.
I think ke mangwana wa ka ana ke ntse ka mbo di theater one I etsa di acting ke ena tshya motho a lang influencer bo mosola comedy bo di laphalapha ke bona batho ba ne re ba tseba ka nako no wa bona like so ke bona ba le ba influence and then ka tseba motho no ntse le mentor wa ka lona ke na motho lo ha ke na mathata ke lela ho yena motho eno no like ntho ngwe ngwe yentseng ina le that thing wa boy bona ho nna maybe o shela movie tsak o tsebe hore sometimes a se le nna ntsa etsa movie no somehow ena kanna go that thing e jwalo no so hana no itseng ketulong
On the inside, like the effective thing you have at your mouth.
I think it's a huge impact one most of the time elanga ke give up because hona la gona o tla go ho buima ke re hanga ke give up on the industry ke bona batho ba ntse ba re no this thing is for you like bumper manjano motivation nyana the compliment yo look at your film is like this and like this and like this but ke bona batho ba etsa ngwe ke keep ntwe no etsa ngwe tuke ke batla ba teng ga industry because there are some times when I feel like I should just give up and try something else.
Yeah, how can you advise you have do that drawing couple criticism? So the Bavashan said the viewers how the filmmaker how do you deal with the
criticism na go as a filmmaker ke tseba batho ba le bona o kana fuma ke batho bana ba sa rateng I don't know about but I love criticism every time when I release a film I tell people please criticize this that way ke tla khona tswana next time ke lo etsa eng e leng re ha ba sa tla ba criticize ka ntho tsana because ha ntho sena mphoso ha le wena o tla utlwa something is wrong o tla itla maybe le phoso like batho ba tla ba criticize mfetho sound DJ na editing e jena wa bona ke nana bophelo bo jwalo ntho ngwe e tla maybe le phoso nyana so ke nana ke ntho jwalo.
Also, you're only starting off the year on a good note. You have a new film coming up titled Italy. Without any spoilers, from your film.
From my film, I think drama and humagazo, like dutse ka tseno no ya ke tsona e khutshwane yona ho bua nnete ebile re shootile re sena le equipment e nka ganye ne le adequate wa bona hore ka etsa mosebetsi nna ka ke le ne ke o batla because ne ke batlile something e mang but be ke ipona ke tla mona la dona at that time ne ke tshwere eng matsohong aka but I think it's going to be a good film and yeah it's going to be a good film ko fela le ene.
So, having assessed the film industry, what are your hopes for the future of the film industry in Lesotho?
Well, I hope Basotho ba tla tloela hore ha re etsa di-film ebe di like le lo ba bo Rambo past that wa bona something tse kang tseno ba utlwisa di-film le bontho tse kang tseno no ebe ba rata ho halala industry like hona ke na if jwale ka ha ke etsa film sekolong wa bona ke ntho na go batho ba tlo tseba re ha ena tšhelete ha ena bophelo go ga utlwa ke re there's no future in that thing we etsa wa so I hope in the future batho ba tla ha motho a I'm a filmmaker oh wow you see like ba ka thabele because ga di tloga batho tse tse like motho ha ka ga wow fela o entse ntho ntle e ba that thing e le wena o le motho yo phahamisang I think che a go bona I wish kapa ke I hope bo Netflix di ka tla Lesotho can have their own Hollywood alright Lesotho can have its own Hollywood jana ntse ke hope
Janet, to end the session, what can we expect from you in 2025?
I can't say I promise something, but I can tell you one thing. I have a good feeling about this year, man. Just expect something better than the past years. Hi guys, it's me again, Stephen Ramagaza. Thank you for having me. So please, in everything that you do, put God first and the rest will follow. Signing out.
Hi, my name is Mosos Matlani. I am a writer and a director.
Okay, so what other disciplines are there in filmmaking that are essential to bringing a story to life?
I think there's many disciplines that are essential to bringing a story to life. Filmmaking is just like all these like parts like directing, cinematography, sound, music, what else? Editing, and filmmaking is all about how all these combine or speak to each other in order to make the story come alive.
Okay, and what was your first encounter with film that made you decide that this is what you want to pursue as a career?
I think like Elemunyane, I was always watching films, even though I didn't know it's something that someone could do. Like I didn't know that there's people behind the camera that like held the camera and brought the story to life. So I don't know. I think I was just watching a lot of films as a child, but then I think the switch for me became when I watched this film called Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Crystal Skull. I was watching it on DVD, and then I watched the behind the scenes of the DVD, and they were talking to the director and screenwriter, and I think that's when the switch sort of like lit in my mind. I was like, oh, this is something that something that I feel drawn to somehow. I feel like it's something that I could do.
What themes can anyone watching any of the films you've worked on expect to see?
I think the prevalent one seems to be sort of like my thoughts around the country I live in or the place I live in, especially Lesotho. For some reason, Lesotho seems to be like a muse of sorts for me. I think that's maybe like the running theme throughout all my work, just like how just like my relationship with the country that I live in, this sort of like love-hate, push and pull in a way, yeah.
Okay, so having assessed the film industry in your country, Lesotho, what are your hopes for the future of the film industry in Lesotho?
I'm hoping that, obviously I hope that it will grow. I'm hoping for like more collaboration, because I think a lot of the time we do things in silos in little pockets. So I'm hoping for more, more collaboration, and hopefully more funding from somewhere. Because I think with more funding, that's when production value increases of the productions themselves. That's where like we can elevate our films to an international standard. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so moving on to your 21 minutes film, The Vanished One. Before we delve deep into the making of the film, how did you find out about the Beijing Film Festival as well as the La Sheng Dora Film Festival?
Alright, so initially it wasn't even my plan to submit the film to festivals. I think for a long time I didn't know what to do with it after I completed it. But then when I finished, I started sort of looking at the festival route of things. I still sort of started researching a lot of festivals. The Beijing International Film Festival was one of them. And I think just like looking at the film, and because it's so experimental in nature, the Beijing International Short Film Festival seemed to be like a nice fit as to like the sort of films that they were accepting or the sort of films that they were programming. As for the La Scena d'Oro, my all-time inspiration is this filmmaker called Pier Paolo Pasolini. He's long past now, but he actually founded that festival in like 1950 something. So I think that was always a dream of mine. I was hoping that my film would show at a festival the festival that he founded. It seemed to be like, I don't know, it sort of was a dream of mine to like maybe show something of mine at a festival that my all-time inspiration founded. It seemed to be like a nice conversation that I hope to be part of. Not that I'm as good as him, but like it seemed to be like something that I was dreaming of, and luckily I got in. And yeah, I think that's how my festival journey started.
Okay, and how was the feedback?
Yeah, the feedback was, I think with festivals, hangata, we show films, but then because you don't really go there at where they're showing, you don't really get that feedback in the way that you would if you went there in the theater and saw the film with audiences. But I think luckily for this one, because because in the La Scena d'Oro Festival it was on streaming for a while, for like a week. I think I was lucky in the sense that I was getting like feedback. Some people like reached out to me via social media to tell me I enjoyed the film, and the ones who watched it on streaming, would leave like comments on the film's page, on the streaming site, and just be like, rating the film, and just like writing short comments on it. So I think I've been happy and surprised with the feedback that I've gotten so far. To the festivals haven't been that many, it's only like 2 festivals, but like I've been happy with the feedback so far.
Okay, and why is it advisable for other filmmakers to also submit their own films to film festivals?
I think festivals, first of all, I think they offer some sort of validation because you're programmed along with other films from all over the world. But I do think festivals can be a nice way to just sort of see how your film or films or filmmaking measures with like a world standard. But also I think it does open like a lot of opportunities in terms of funding and labs and just like residencies, because hangata they'll be like, oh, the requirements for this and this grant or this and this lab or this and this residencies that you have to have your film shown on certain like festivals and all that. So I think that's why I'd encourage filmmakers or submit their films to festivals.
Back to the film, please give us a brief synopsis of the themes of the film and I think the overall inspiration in the film.
Okay, so the film is an experimental film, and it follows this character Molelekwa, who's banished from Lesotho. So as he leaves, as he's chased by the police or just like sirens from the police, we get like other viewpoints of other characters in Lesotho who just like offer their thoughts about living in Lesotho, the pros and cons of living in Lesotho, about art and about death. And yeah, this happens throughout, Molelekwa's banishment from the city. The themes, so I think it deals with themes of how the primary themes are just like how if you're an artist or if you create a work of art, in a sense you live forever. Even if your body dies, the art itself lives forever. It also deals with themes of displacement from your home. It also deals with themes of modernity versus tradition in a way, and that's it, the tension between all those forces and how all those forces come together to form the place that we know now as Maseru, through like a history of like colonialism and all the things that have happened through our history to form this like melting pot in a way. Yeah, so I think those themes came about just from me firstly living in Lesotho, living in Maseru, and feeling a sense of because a lot of my friends Lesotho, they left because there aren't any opportunities, and I think I was sort of dealing with this whole I don't know battle in my mind of like why must you leave the place that you call home just to build a better life for yourself? Why is it that Lesotho does this to its children, where they're in positions where we now have to in a way disown our hometown in order to build a better life for ourselves somewhere else, or like just like looking to somewhere else for I don't know a better way of life. So yeah.
And with regards to challenges, were there any challenges during the making of the film? So from script writing to directing, and how did you overcome those challenges?
I think the script writing was probably the easiest one because I was just like having fun. I don't think I even thought I was gonna shoot this eventually, but I think when I finished the script, that's when I was like, oh, I have to shoot this. But I did this without any money. It was literally like favors from friends. So I think that was like the biggest challenge over if you don't have money to make a film and you're doing it with favors. Obviously, a lot of the timelines are not even in your control because you're not paying people. It's literally a thing of, oh, let's meet this and this weekend and shoot. And even when you shoot in these locations, hangata you only find for example, we shot at a restaurant, Castopo, and we only got like I think maybe like 2 or 1 hour to get all the shots there done. So I think those were the logistical challenges of because the cast is quite big. So I think because you're not paying anyone, a lot of things that determine how you can shoot and where you can shoot are dependent on people's schedules and all those other things that like just are not under your control. So I think that was like the biggest challenge to the logistics of it was quite a challenge. Was quite challenging. Yeah.
So still on the note of script writing.
Yeah.
Please take us through your writing process from the point where you draw your inspiration.
Yeah. Trying the final product. With this one was quite. I think I was lucky to get this idea because I had this dream where someone was just like just like fleeing from the police in a car, but Anza Hanna through the streets of Maseu. So just waking up for that dream, for some reason that dream stuck, and I just started writing just like scenes or images. Yeah, I just started writing scenes or images, and I think throughout that writing, somehow it formed itself into like a screenplay. So I think that was the biggest, that was the inspiration from having that dream to now writing down, things that I was seeing from the dream and how that, all turned into, the script that I eventually shot, that is the film.
So, moving on to accolades and awards. Out of all of the awards you have received from writing and directing, which award has stood out the most for you and has been impactful to you and your career?
Sure, I think the first filmmaking related award I received was in 2021. It was the Writers Guild of South Africa News Awards for like an unproduced script that I wrote. I think maybe that award stood out because it enabled me to, first of all, because it was an award awarded by screenwriters and filmmakers, so it felt validating to be validated by your own peers. And because of that award, I got to pitch the film from funding bodies. So I think that was a nice experience in seeing how that world works, where you pitch in front of places like the NFVF, Houghton Film Commission, and sort of getting an idea of how you pitch for funding for films. So I think that was an award that stood out for me. How it opened up doors that way.
And I think a lot of the time when we consume content or any form of entertainment, we don't really acknowledge the people working behind the scenes to bring the body of work together.
Yeah.
What advice can you give to anyone who's aspiring to become a filmmaker on how to successfully promote themselves?
I don't know, promoting is a bit hard for me. It's even hard for me because I'm not that quite well versed in social media and how to promote your art on social media. But I would say, it's a hard question, but I would say, for this film, because I'm almost like a one-man promotion team, so if a film gets into festivals, I'll do a poster and everything else. So I think maybe use social media to your advantage in how you connect with people and how you promote your art to people. Hi, this is Moses Matane, filmmaker, director, writer. Peace out.